So we're going to go ahead and get started. And for those of you that can see and hear, welcome. For those of you that can't, contact Marty. So we're going to go over the risk management stuff for student organizations. We have a total of 14 slides. It shouldn't take that long. I have the chat box open, so if anyone wants to send a question, you can send it there and we'll try to answer it. Risk management is the process of considering the potential and perceived risks involved in student activities. It includes monitoring organizational activities and taking both corrective actions and proactive steps to minimize accidental injury and or loss. Failure to plan can result in adverse risk in physical, reputational, emotional, financial, and facilities damage. The concepts that we need to look at is identify risky behavior and activities, assess the probability of adverse outcomes, identify and implement controls to eliminate or reduce the risk, reassess the activity after risk intervention, and special event insurance. And I'll talk more about the special event insurance. On the student activities webpage, you can find this risk matrix, and you want to go through the risk assessment process to determine where your event, what category your event will fall into. And if you can see the highlighted area for seriousness and probability, once you rank your activities, you'll find out where you fall on that heat map. And if you fall in a category A1, meaning it's likely to occur and in a short period of time, expected to occur frequently, and it may result in death. Excuse me. If you are in that category with one of your activities, you should just plan on finding something else to do, because student activities will not approve that, and I certainly will not approve that. So the conducting the risk matrix assessment is very important when you're planning your activities. Student travel. Provisions apply to any student traveling more than 25 miles from campus. And for us, that's pretty much anywhere we go. You must submit your completed travel forms to the Dean of Students Office 5 business days in advance. We prefer you to rent a vehicle if possible, because if you rent a vehicle through Enterprise, then the insurance and the liability is transferred to Enterprise under the state contract that we have with them. The driver must have a verified good driver record in the past 24 months. They must have personal automobile insurance and registration as required by state law if they're going to use their own vehicle. Student travel procedure forms can be found at the Dean of Students website. Behavior at parties. Organizations may be held responsible when acts of individual members are directly related to the student organizational activities. Member is violating local, state, or federal law or university regulations, and other members present fail to discourage such activities, or it can be shown to be a common practice within the members or organizations. Remember, in addition to the group being held responsible, members, officers, and even advisors may be held individually responsible for an individual member's activities or actions. The university provides equal employment, educational opportunities on the basis of merit without discrimination because of race, color, religion, sex, age, national origin, veteran status, physical or mental disabilities. These protections extend to programs, activities, and events conducted by the university or student organization. Compliance with campus policies. There's a whole lot of them that we got to do. Title IX, ADA compliance, reporting discrimination, facility use rules, food handling rules, money handling, student organization guidelines, safeguards for working with minors. Must complete the child protection training. If any of your activities involve working with minors, you need to let me know so you can take the appropriate child protection training that's required in Train Track for you and your student organizations to be able to do that. So in case something does happen with regard to a minor, you can show proof that your organization has had the training. Democracy and inclusion, you want to instill principles of fairness and transparency, follow your organization's constitution, use group consensus where possible, take a leadership role to deter actions that are unfair, arbitrary, and potentially illegal, avoid biased or selective actions and decisions, and realize there is a balance between individual personal freedoms and group expectations. Individual personal freedoms are a big thing that you need to be aware of, and you have seen some of that with our own campus policies for the wearing of face coverings and such, and you've definitely heard it on the news that I shouldn't have to wear a face covering because it's not written in the Constitution, or using the QR codes and the scans at the library. We've heard comments that that's just a tracking mechanism, and we should eliminate that because it violates individual freedoms. So keep those things in mind when you are setting up your organizations and dealing with your members, because they are required to abide by the rules, the constitution of the organization or the group, and make sure that they abide by those. If they cannot do so, then maybe they don't need to be a member of your organization. So some examples for risk planning. For fundraisers, your organization is conducting a raffle. The raffle tickets cost $5 each. If you have a raffle event, you want to make sure that you understand all of the money handling policies, when to make a deposit into your student organization account, not hold the money in your, or let your treasurer hold the money in their dorm room. We've had instances in the past where they've held the money box in the dorm room, left the door open, and come back and the money box was no longer there. Fundraiser, you're having a fajita taco sale. Unfortunately, we will not be having fajita taco sales on campus this semester due to the COVID crisis. But if we were, you would have to have money handling processes, food handling training, and the such to make sure that we're providing a quality product to those that are buying it. You're having a welcome party to introduce new members held at a ranch outside of Kingsville. I would not recommend this. You want to make sure that you have all your rules in place, and if you hold an event like this outside of Kingsville at a private ranch, there's opportunity for alcohol and other activities to occur that you may not be able to control. If you're working with children's community outreach event at Clayburg Park, it's open to all children, have outdoor games, provide lunch. There's a whole lot of stuff there. You want to make sure that you have your child protection training, that you have proper insurance in place for your outdoor games and events, and if you're providing lunch, you have to have the appropriate food handling training. 10 of your members are driving to Oklahoma City for a conference in January. Nothing wrong here, but I would recommend renting a van from Enterprise Rental Car to be able to do that. Your organization is sponsoring a July 4th run walk for charity. Again, make sure you have your waiver of liability that Student Activities has available for you. Use the special event insurance. Let me talk about the special event insurance for a moment. This is insurance that is sponsored through the Texas A&M system, and it's very reasonable to get For the day's activity, I think it's 43 cents per person. So if your organization has 20 members and your event's 1 day long, you would just multiply 20 times 0.43, and that would be the total amount of your insurance. The insurance is very beneficial for those individuals that become injured. If the injured party has a primary insurance, either for themselves or on their family policy, the special event insurance will step in and cover any out-of-pocket expense that the injured party may experience. If the individual does not have a primary insurance policy, the special event insurance will step in and cover 100% of the cost for hospitals and medication that the injured party may incur. What is the culture of your organization? Look at your climate. Is it mean, negative, friendly, or welcoming? You want to treat your new members with respect and not demeaning. You want to have a consensus government and abide by the Constitution of the organization. Your meetings and activities should be organized and not haphazard. You should have a team spirit as far as involvement and not allow cliques to form within your organization. Be mindful of communications on social media, especially now during this COVID pandemic. We've asked people when they post to social media if they are posting a photo from before the pandemic to date the photo appropriately so as not to show large crowds without the proper non-pharmaceutical interventions being in place, such as wearing a face covering, social distancing, practicing proper hand hygiene, and things of that nature. So make sure that your organization knows that when they're posting, to make sure they post appropriately, and if they're using older photographs, to date the photographs appropriately. Accountability to follow your organizational rules and duties. Make sure that your group members understand all the responsibilities that are required to be in the organization. You play a role in retention, contribute to a positive campus experience. You need to mentor your members, engage your members in meaningful activities, lend your leadership expertise. How do you want your organization to be seen by others? Hopefully in a positive light. What will your legacy be for your organization and for Texas A&M Kingsville? Each student group, organization must have a risk management statement. Some of these are included in national charters for certain organizations. If your organization does not have a national charter, this statement must be included in your application packet. And I'm not going to read through it, but it has to be there. And I know Marty has included all those in the student organization registration process. And if you have any questions, student activities, phone number is 2760. Event planning 4173, Dean of Students 3606, my office is 2237, University Police 2611, and the compliance office is 4758. Does anyone have any questions or anything based on what we went over in the slides? You can type them in the chat box. We'll try to answer them. If not, you can send questions to Marty and myself. We'll try to answer them the best we can. If we do not have an answer readily available, we'll research the answer and provide a response at a later time.